too muchness. Others call it overwhelmingness. And that's part of your process. You'll go through that, especially as you get to the point of change. Oh God, change. Nearly coughing here. That's another story. Okay. So if you get to a point of change, and in your point of change you are absolutely committing yourself, and within that you are too hard on yourself, but also not too hard on yourself, because you need to be hard on yourself to a certain degree to force yourself to sometimes face the things you really don't want to face, because they just seem too big and too much and too many and too often and too everything too. When they come also in twos, looks like. So, it's like terrible twos, yeah. So in those points where you have to choose the terrible twos, and it is so unclear what there is to choose, because all answers could be right, as could all answers could be wrong, shit like that, you will find that you will be stimulated, normally unexpectedly, on a point which will open up the built-up emotional charge around the point you're working with, and you will be flooded with the energy, and it will pour out your eyes even, and you will not be able to breathe because it is just too much. And it's like a beyond yearning moment. You're yearning, it's like a turning inside, and at the same time some has mistaken it as joy. In fact, joy doesn't feel like anything. Neither does love. Love has no feeling. When there's a feeling, you have a problem, because the feeling is the result of a design which you have programmed that has got rules that will always be exclusive and not inclusive, and therefore it will be limiting. Real love, don't feel. The real joy, no feeling. Compassion, there's no feeling to any act of benevolence. Thus the overwhelmingness is purely an indicator that you are working on points, and that these points are accumulating sufficient attention from you that they are ready to burst. The bubble then burst, and in the bursting of the bubble, what will happen is you'll have an opportunity to look at the point again and change maybe your perspective, your point of view, your approach, the way you are conducting yourself, the way you are conducting the energy or the sound, because you can either conduct sound or energy. When you are a light being, you conduct energy. When you are life, you conduct sound. You have to see which way you are going to conduct yourself, and in the best conduction or best conductor you can be is to conduct yourself as life, and all as one, as equal as life. Because then your conduct will be acceptable, because it's what's best for all. While if you are conducting energy, you will conduct highs and lows, and because you are conducting highs and lows, your conduct will be according to whether you are high or low, and therefore you will not be a stable being. You will end up being easily overwhelmed or suppressing, where you would feel nothing. Overwhelmingness, understand, is a critical phase everyone goes through. It is the phase where you're letting go of the old, but you haven't yet got all the power and the will of the new. You don't completely get it yet, but you know you are ready to get it. But it's as if it's sometimes out of your reach, and it becomes just too much. It's so close, yet it seems so far. And then it overwhelms you for a moment. That happens cry the tears that go with it. Let it free. Yes, you can judge yourself by using that through a form of movement, by pushing yourself, but don't judge yourself because you are not bad, neither are you good. You are purely changing. And that's neither good or bad. That is just the process you're going through. The process is just a process. It hasn't got a particular meaning. It is the commonsensical point each must go through to understand the infactness of reality as it exists in its current form, in form of all the relationships and the desires and hopes and the dreams, likes and dislikes of all beings that is here, to bring about in the nth degree that which will be acceptable by all within their own life as what is best for all. Obviously, creating that takes more than intellect, because intellect is the result of being overwhelmed by knowledge to such a degree that you become possessed by your idea of your cleverness. That's useless, because the only thing you can then do is think or design or conduct yourself within the context of the knowledge and the information which you are designed as, and therefore your as will not be able to see outside the parameters of your brainwashing. Many of those that are today the economists in the world will be those that cannot go outside their parameter, because they would, for instance, say that the human being is naturally seeking the animal expression of hopes and desires and wants and needs and competition, and it's really strange that one would accept such things, but they do. So they are overwhelmed by knowledge and information. If you challenge them, their fear factor rise, and they get overwhelmed by anger and rage, and they attack you in the most atrocious and nasty ways to try and silence you, because you are part of a secret voice they have in their heads as well, asking the question, what if everything you know is actually a lie? Who will you be? And they just want to deny that little voice. Everybody's got that voice. It comes up somewhere along the line where it asks you the question, this little voice, what if everything I think is real is not real? What is reality? What is illusion? Everybody asks that question. And here you come and you dare to make it a question that's loud in their face. They're going to attack you. They will become your greatest haters, because you are the voice they're trying to silence within themselves. Therefore, we have to remain that voice no matter what, so that they can be overwhelmed by their rage, by their jealousy, by their hatred, until they destroy the reality through their hatred, through their abuse. Because their abuse will not just stop as being directed to us, it will extend to their family, to their children, to everyone that's close to them. They will abuse them. And by the time they find out the cost they have to pay for what they've done, they would have destroyed their reality. So I suggest it is not the way to go. The overwhelmingness that we started off with here was the one that Lindsay is experiencing, and that's more to do with her driving herself and not being satisfied with where she is. But she's got a little interesting way of addiction to energy where she uses self-sabotage, and therefore she will actually talk herself into an energetic state, suppress it, and then when the bubble gets burst, she's got immediately an overflow, which is pretty cool. I mean, it also feels quite overwhelming. It's a very cool experience of overwhelmingness. There's really no other way to describe it. I went through these points many times until eventually I accepted myself as strong enough. That's the point Lindsay has not yet accepted within herself, but it's inevitably to come. So there you have it. The too muchness. The too muchness, in a way, is like a fear of the unpredictable. It's still like you want to be able to control the outcome. If you want to control the outcome, you really are saying you want an end to it all. What if there is no end? Why would you like to control what's possible? Wouldn't that be stupid?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, maybe too muchness is what we must embrace, in a way, realizing that if we are all free as one, as equal, in a society where everything is what's best for all, our excellence will become something we cannot even conceive at the moment, because we are not consuming that at the moment. We are not creating it. We don't understand it yet. But it is creatable. It is in the unknown, but not unknowable, because we can, if we dare, actually realize that there is that which we can live within space-time, within a construct of what's best for all, that will have astounding experiences of overwhelming excellence. Maybe one should consider that as well.